There's more than one way to get professional lawn care. Do it yourself, like this homeowner, with whatever this is. Pros use reliable, powerful Gravely equipment. This homeowner gets by with something else. Gravely delivers the high performance and quality professionals stake their reputation on. Gravely outpowers, outlasts, outperforms. Get what the pros use.
Get a $200 rebate on consumer 2T models, $400 rebate on all commercial models. See Myers Equipment and Supply for details.
Stand by. Color. Tip. Hut. Right. Shoulder. Arm. Colors. Ready. Cut. Step. Color. Hold. Freezing. Arm.
Today I have the honor of introducing Congressman Rick W. Allen. Congressman Allen was elected to represent Georgia's 12th District in the U.S. House of Representatives in 2014. Mr. Allen spent his career starting and building his own business from the ground up. He founded the construction company R.W. Allen & Associates, which has enhanced economic development in Georgia and created thousands of jobs for over 35 years. His extensive business background guides his commitment to promoting policies that allow the private sector to thrive. The son of a farmer, Congressman Allen is proud to serve in the House Committee on Agriculture. This role further enables him to work as an advocate for farmers in Washington. He's also a member of the House Education and Workforce Committee, which focuses on strengthening our nation's schools and expanding opportunities for Americans in the modern workplace. Congressman Allen graduated from Auburn University School of Architecture and Fine Arts with a Bachelor of Science degree in building construction. He and his wife, Robin, have been married for 43 years and reside in Augusta, Georgia. Together, they raised 4 children and are the proud grandparents of 12 grandchildren. He's also involved in a number of different business and civic organizations in his community and has earned a reputation as a principled business leader. In 2018, he received the Augusta Metro Chamber of Commerce Small Business Person of the Year Award and took part in the first class of Leadership Augusta in 1980. In 2011, Congressman Allen was also inducted into the CSRA Business Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Rick Allen.
Well, what a delight it is to be with you here this afternoon, and again, thanks to all of you for coming out and allowing me to just say a few words about what this means, what this day means, and what it means to this country. Today we remember America's finest, the men and women who have given their lives in the defense of the freedoms that we hold so dearly in this nation. You know, Memorial Day is often considered the beginning of summer vacations and that sort of thing. But folks, it is much, much more important than that. Where would this nation be without the sacrifice of those who have gone before us? Where would we stand today? As I've traveled the 12th District of Georgia, I've had the honor to visit multiple military bases and meet some of our finest men and women serving this nation. In fact, I get to sit by one here today and get to hear him later. You know, it really is amazing, the fire and the passion and commitment to service above self that our military enjoys. And you know, it's just amazing to wake up every day and just thank God for these people who have given so much. On a personal basis, it was right here in Dublin, Georgia, that my wife's parents met each other. However, what turned into a great marriage and partnership and great family just a couple of years earlier was tragedy. My wife's mother was engaged to a young Army pilot. And in fact, on the day that she received her engagement ring, she went home, and that same day she received a telegram that he was killed in action. She was devastated. Like so many women of that day, she joined the American Red Cross and got transferred right here to Dublin. But like I said, for every tragic story, there's a great ending, and she met a young flight surgeon here, Naval flight surgeon right here, Tom Reeve, in Dublin, and they were married for some 65 years. And of course, I'm very thankful to them because I'm married to their daughter, who has made my life just a pleasure for all these years. My dad did serve in World War II. He graduated in animal husbandry from the University of Georgia in 1942, was immediately drafted, and of course he and Mom got married. She dropped out of school and went to help with the war effort. Daddy went to India. He was a medic. He said, how do you get from animal husbandry to medic? I guess he could give shots and, do those kinds of things. And he served in India all those years, and he never really talked to me about his service. I knew it was difficult because, the wounded came in from Asia and the South Pacific. And later in life, the one thing he did say is that as he tried to save the lives of those young men, many times he'd wake up at night with the regret that he had not been on the front line with them. I was born 2 years too late for Vietnam, but that wasn't the case for three of my classmates. Played football together, and as you know, football's a tough game, but it brings you together, and in a way that not many other sports can do. And I was saddened my senior year to learn of that my right guard had been killed in action just 2 years previous to that. Just shortly thereafter, our quarterback and our starting halfback were severely injured, which affected their lives from then on. Let me tell you, it was the Savior of the world that said, there is no love greater than one who would give their life for another. That is what this day is all about. I want to add just a couple of things. Just this week, I cast my vote in support of one of the most important votes I take in Washington, and that I take every year, and that's the National Defense Authorization Act, which is an annual legislation that authorizes significant funds for our national security efforts. I'm happy to say that we passed this bill in the House with overwhelming bipartisan support and fulfill our constitutional obligation to fund our troops, keep America safe, and restore our military readiness. I also had the privilege on Monday of passing legislation that I sponsored to have the Statesboro VA Clinic renamed the Ray Hendricks Veterans Clinic. While serving the American Legion, Sergeant Major Hendricks also helped organize a transport system for veterans who needed to visit the Vinson V.A. right here in Dublin. Sergeant Major Hendricks was a lifelong resident of Georgia's 12th District and a beloved veteran. And I can't think of a better or more appropriate way to have his service to our nation and his community honored by naming the local VA clinic that he fought to establish in Statesboro. Again, I am so honored and humbled to have this opportunity to be with you today, to serve you in Washington, and I will continue to be a strong advocate of our nation's bravest and finest. On this important holiday weekend, We will forever remember the service, bravery, and patriotism of the Americans who have laid down their lives so that we might be free. As you have said, as we have heard, freedom is not free. Now, there's really nothing I can say here today that would do enough to honor those who have sacrificed. But for all those, we remember this. We are forever grateful for your service. Thank you again for being here today, especially those who have served. Americans across this nation, thank you for your service. May God bless our fallen, our veterans, and our active military. Thank you very much.
Our interim director of the VA has a special presentation he'd like to make to you.
Good.
Sir, on behalf of the Medical Center, thank you very much for being here, sir, for supporting our Memorial Day ceremony. Here you go, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I will add one thing. He talked about my leadership in the community and all that. I was in ROTC 2 years at Auburn. So I learned those leadership skills for 2 years, and like I said, my biggest regret is that I did not serve. So thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
I'm Dale Nifong, your State Farm agent on Hillcrest. We're celebrating 14 years of service to the Dublin, Lawrence County communities. Please call us, text us, or even email us to find out what makes us different and how we can help you. We're located on Hillcrest between Dublin High School and Kroger.
But I had the pleasure of meeting our interim director a couple of weeks ago in our interim conference room as we had an opportunity. Thank you to come forward. And it didn't take me very long after he had a few moments to say to realize he has a passion for doing what he is doing. He has a very distinguished record of serving other VA hospitals and is very fortunate that we have him to come now and introduce our special keynote speaker, our interim director. Come please. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all very much for coming out. I generally joke that when I'm behind a lectern or on a podium and someone's giving me a microphone, they've made a terrible mistake. But not today. Today's a special day. I echo Congressman Allen's words. Today is a special day. It's not about mattress sales. It's not about the smell of charcoal. It's not about factory rebates and all those things that other people see. It's about what's happening right now, what's happening right here. It's about the men and women that have worn the cloth of our country, those that have gone before us, and the reason that we exist today, because somebody stood up and said, yes, I will. Thank you all very much for being here. I appreciate greatly your time and attendance today. And on behalf of myself, my executive leadership team, all the staff, the volunteers, the men and women that make this place home, thank you very much for being here. I do have the esteemed privilege today of introducing our guest speaker, Colonel Lyle K. Drew. Colonel Drew is commander of the 78th Air Base Wing, Robbins Air Force Base. As commander, he leads more than 3,300 total force personnel assigned to 3 groups: Communications Directorate, an Operations Support Squadron, a Comptroller Squadron, and 13 wing staff agencies. Colonel Drew also served as the installation commander supporting the base's 36 hosted units, including a major command, an air logistics complex, and 3 wings on the almost 7,000-acre installation, Georgia's largest single-site industrial complex. That's a heavy hat you wear, sir, I cannot imagine. Moreover, he's responsible for the safety, security, morale, and welfare of over 22,000 total Air Force airmen assigned to Robbins Air Force Base. Colonel Drew entered the Air Force through the Reserve Officers Training Corps program at Purdue University, and he did not join the SEC school, so we won't hold that against him as well. Throughout his career, he's held a variety of positions in aircraft maintenance, acquisition, program management, professional military education, and served as aide-de-camp and the Air University Commander at Maxwell Air Force Base. His formal education includes a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Engineering from Purdue University, an MBA from Western New England College, and a Master in Science in National Resource Strategy. He also attended Air War College and received numerous major awards, including the Legion of Merit Medal, the Bronze Star Medal, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal with 4 oak leaf clusters, Air Force Commendation Medal with 1 Oak Leaf Cluster, Joint Service Achievement Medal, Oak Leaf Cluster, and Air Force Achievement Medal. Men and women, gentlemen, everyone in the room, please put your hands together for Colonel Lyle Drew. Colonel Drew.
It is rather for us, the living, we here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they here gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that the nation shall have a new birth of freedom. President Abraham Lincoln spoke these words in an address 154 years ago in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. At the time, I dare say he did not know their enduring impact. Only 47 years after the nation was born, he reflected on a battle in the midst of a war that would shape the future of our country. For 154 years, American military members have served around the world to protect the United States from evils and atrocities we could have not imagined or ever foreseen. Nevertheless, in all of those encounters, we prevailed because of the service and the sacrifice that they demonstrated. It is in their last full measure of devotion that we must cherish and embrace today and always. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time today to join us in this solemn event and honor those that have died in the service to our nation. I'm truly humbled to be part of this ceremony. For 150 years, we have officially honored those that have died in the defense of our nation. As military members, we are always honored and humbled to be thanked for our service. However, today is not the day to honor the living. Today is the day that we honor the dead, those that died in their service to our great nation. This weekend, the unofficial beginning of summer, is when we pause and remember the tremendous sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, that thousands of men and women have made for us as Americans. Their sacrifice has allowed us to join and embrace our life, our liberty, and our pursuit of happiness. Therefore, I ask that at 3 p.m. tomorrow, you participate in our national moment of remembrance, where you can join all Americans for 1 minute to pause and remember those that have died in defense of our nation. Our history is replete with examples of selfless sacrifice in the face of battle and times of war. In Georgia, more than 2,556 military members have given their life. In Europe, in the Pacific, Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan, and Iraq. And this same sacrifice and loss can be seen and felt everywhere in our country, even in places tragically unexpected. Who can forget the 3 junior ROTC cadets that risked their own lives and died to help their classmates escape during the school shooting in Parkland, Florida this past February? They were posthumously awarded the Medal of Heroism, the highest award given to junior ROTC cadets. In the end, their selfless sacrifice defined their last full measure of devotion. John 5:13 says, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." I can only hope that our schools, churches, and places of recreation will not turn into the battlegrounds of the future. But what I do know is that there will always be someone ready to respond and sacrifice themselves for the safety and the freedom of others. And if you ever doubt that heroes still exist, you need only visit the sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C., where thousands of service members spanning our nation's history are interred. Each of their stories, unique, inspiring, and absolutely heroic. They were the light in a moment of darkness and allowed us all to see there was hope for the future. They would never have referred to themselves as heroes. However, their actions say different and speak volumes to their character as us as a nation. As far as the future of the United States military, I truly believe it will always be the best in the world because our best are always willing to serve and sacrifice themselves upon the altar of freedom. They will come from our largest cities and our smallest towns to answer the call to serve. Since the birth of our nation, that has been an absolute constant. Since the all-volunteer force was established in July 1973, the services have consistently met and exceeded their recruitment goals. The character, the quality, and commitment of those volunteers are absolutely amazing. That is a testament to a nation born of ideals of service, freedom, and sacrifice. That is why Memorial Day is so important. It ensures we reflect on the sacrifice of the few that secured the freedom for the many. It's a tradition we cannot dismiss and one we should never lose. Only by remembering can we truly appreciate how special it is to be an American. If you have a story of a family member or friend that died serving our nation, I would encourage you to share it and let it live on. If you don't, when you go home today, just go to your computer, go to your local library this week, and find that story and understand even more what it is for that service and sacrifice that makes our nation so great. I guarantee it will provide you a moment of pause, reflection, and deeper understanding. Let us never forget. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time, and may God bless the United States of America.
Hi, I'm Helen Powell. I am the instructor at Careers in Cosmetology. We would love to congratulate all the students and graduates of 2018. If you're looking for an exciting career, please come and see us.
Hi, I'm Steve. I've been enrolled here at Careers in Cosmetology for 8 weeks after deciding I needed to make a career change from the construction business. I can see all the opportunities and benefits. Great business to be in. You should come down and see Miss Helen. Give it a try.
Hey, I'm Ashley. I'm approaching graduation here at Careers in Cosmetology. I've learned all sorts of things. I've learned perms, coloring, waxing, manicures, pedicures, things I didn't think I could do. You also can have a great career and learn those wonderful things if you come see Miss Helen Powell at Careers in Cosmetology.
Hello, my name is Shanitra. I'm currently enrolled in Careers in Cosmetology, where Miss Helen Powell is the instructor. Within 5 weeks, I've learned so much more than what I thought I've known before. Whenever you're ready for that career change, please come see Miss Helen Powell, and she sure can help you out with it.
Now
that grace shall be the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. Yet when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace.
I'd like to echo the remarks of everyone previous to me to say it's truly an honor and privilege to be here today, and thank each and every one of you for coming out. Once again, I'm going to endure your patience here, and for those of you who can stand, please stand and remove your headgear. For those of us who have served and continue serving in the uniformed services of the United States are ever mindful that the sweetness of enduring peace has always been tainted by the bitterness of personal sacrifice. We are compelled to never forget that while we enjoy our daily pleasures, there are others who may have endured and still may be enduring the agonies of deprivation, pain, and imprisonment. As we continue with today's activities, let us pause to recognize our POWs and MIAs. I call attention to the table that's to my left. It holds a position of dignity and honor amongst us. The table is small, signifying the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or her suppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolic of the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. It is set for one, symbolizing the fact that our members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as our POWs and MIAs. The salt sprinkled on the plate reminds us of the countless fallen tears of the families as they await their return. The slice of lemon on the plate reminds us of their bitter fate. The American flag reminds us that many may never return and may have already paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedoms. The glass is inverted, for they are not here and cannot toast with us at this time. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors to the open arms of a grateful nation. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unquenchable spirit. The single rose in the vase signifies the blood that may have been shed to sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved United States of America. The rose also reminds us of the family and friends that are missing our comrades who keep the faith while awaiting their return. The red ribbon on the vase represents the ribbon worn on the lapels of thousands who demand with unyielding determination a proper accountability of our comrades who are now amongst us. The Bible represents the strength gained through faith in our country, founded as one nation, so blessed by God. The Bible is open to 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 18. Thou shalt be missed, for thy chair is empty. Let us pray to the Supreme Commander that all of our comrades will soon be back within our ranks. Let us remember to never forget their sacrifice, and may God watch over them and protect them and their families. It has been said before, freedom is not free. The worst thing that could happen to a veteran is to be forgotten. Please don't forget what has transpired here today. I ask you to not let your children forget.
The prophet Isaiah tells us the nation will beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations will not take up sword against nation, nor will they train for war anymore. Lord, on the eve of this Memorial Day, we pause to remember with gratitude those who paid the ultimate price for the cause of peace and freedom. Thank you for what they have taught us about honor and courage. Help us to faithfully continue their efforts that our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren may live in a peaceful world and know the reality of beating swords into plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. Amen.